Hey guys, welcome back to SoccerholicsTV. We're here at Football Factory, downtown Toronto, talking about the Champions League draw. Just over a few weeks away. First games are played on the 13th and 14th of February. And we haven't actually mentioned this since the draw came out, so we thought we would take some time out today and talk about the fixtures on hand. So, without further ado, here we go. First of all, England making history. Got to give them props. Making history. The first time they've had 5 teams represent the country in the Champions League.
Sorry, that's kind of a bit too late. Spain did that like last year, and I think Germany probably did the year before.
No, but England the first time.
I know you're English. It's okay.
Yeah.
I give you.
Just
your
let me.
Here you go. You want your dab?
Not for me.
Just
In
the knockout round.
Well, you see, now that Europa League's been won by your beloved club, there was 5 English teams that actually, I will admit, they have done pretty well in Champions League. This is kind of a resurgence because, you know, we've had the experience of Spanish and German dominance over the past couple Champions League ties. So now it's kind of nice to see that some of the best managers have come back to England, the most media coverage, the league, I'd like to say. I wouldn't say it's the best league.
It's the most competitive.
It is the most competitive. Actually, that's a lie this season. I give it to the Italian Serie A. That actually has a race.
Anyway,
all the other leagues.
It's great to have 5 teams represented in England. So let's continue. So let's have a look at the first match. Juventus Tottenham. What's your thoughts, Harry?
I think it's going to be Juventus. I think it's going to be really close games. These teams seem pretty much, they look pretty even on paper. I look at the star power for Tottenham, obviously Harry Kane at the front, and they've got good players as well. Tottenham's got Eriksen behind him, and we've seen them play pretty well. But Tottenham has had a bit of a dip in form, I think, and there's something to be said about that British no break in the winter and playing through winter, playing all these games in the winter. And that's why I think we've seen when it comes around to the finals, to semifinals of the Champions League, we're not really seeing British teams there often because these European teams, the Italian clubs, Spanish clubs, they get a longer break. They are more rested. And Juventus with Dybala, who's back on scoring again, I think it's going to be a good team. Juventus is a really solid team, and their run last year was just evident of it.
Yeah. Me personally, I think it's actually going to be a close encounter. You know, Tottenham they haven't been doing well recently, but overall form, you know, they're fourth, fifth in the table of the English Premier League. Juventus are second to Napoli in the Serie A by about a point. And, you know, if Kane can keep doing what he's doing with the support of Eriksen and Dele Alli, then I think they'll give Juventus a run for the money. But I think Tottenham's defence will have to be absolutely solid because when you're facing the likes of Mandzukic, Dybala, Higuain, those players are lethal in front of goal. And I don't really know how to call it because I think it will be, Tottenham beat Real Madrid. You know, obviously Real Madrid having a off day, but they still face Ronaldo, Benzema, some quality players that Tottenham probably have never faced in their life.
I would say Real Madrid's having an off season.
Yeah, I would say that too. But going on paper, going into that match, I would never have thought Tottenham would have won that game ever in a million years, never. So I think this will be such a huge test for Tottenham. Look at me giving love to Tottenham, an Arsenal fan. I couldn't really care, but being just the whole fact of England it'd be nice for an English team to win the Champions League. You know, since the days of Man United and Liverpool, they've done it.
Exactly.
You forgot Chelsea.
And Chelsea, sorry. It'd just be not, it's just a great tie, and I think we got to look at that. It's such a great tie, great matchup with these players against each other.
Who's your team? You're going on and on.
It's hard. It's hard.
Do you want me to toss a coin?
I think Juventus. Hopefully, if I'm right, I think Juventus will just edge it because I think they are stronger. But it will be interesting to see if there is a different result with the outcome. Will it go to penalties? Will it go right down to that ridiculous 5-4 win after 2 0-0 second leg draws, right? What do you think?
It's Juve, very simply. I love Tottenham and everything. My best friend's a Tottenham fan. I've mentioned that several times. I have to deal with this all the time. Pjanic is going to be the difference in this tie. Pjanic and the way how he's been playing, especially in the Serie A this season. I know Napoli's been playing more outstanding, and that's getting down to Juninho in the midfield for Italy as well, which I think he's probably going to be the next Pirlo, but that's another discussion for another time. But Pjanic has been doing an excellent job manning that midfield and controlling to some of the attackers that you mentioned, Ben, and as well as you, Harry. As great as I love that, I also look at Tottenham's defense with, one, they have everyone healthy. They have, Weiderveld, they have Alderweireld, they have Sanchez, the new signing that they also brought in. That's also going to be, when you think about it from a system perspective of a 3-5-2 versus another team that's been kind of adapting a 3-5-2, 4-4-2 this year, it's going to be a good matchup. But if Juve stick to their bread and butter, which is the 3-5-2, which has been made famous by them, for those Champions League runs, you can't go past them.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think we got Juve, and I think you're squeaking for Tottenham. I could be wrong.
No, it's Juve.
Oh, it's a Juve sweep. Hey.
All right.
Sorry, Tottenham fans. Anyway.
Next match, FC Basel, Man City. I'm gonna go on this one. Wouldn't it be great if Man City won the Champions League?
No.
I mean, no. Can I tell you why?
I thought you were going to say Basel for a
no,
second.
no. I think wouldn't it be great if Man City won the Champions League because they're having a phenomenal season in this Premier League. They had an 18-game win streak.
Like by Crystal Palace.
Such a great
Cheers,
it was a draw. It was a draw, right? There was a draw there after that
Yeah,
one.
but it's an 18-game winning streak
Doesn't matter.
ended by a draw.
That's great.
They're still undefeated, yes.
Yeah, it's still undefeated, but I'm saying to
Till
go
Liverpool.
to go 18 games in the Premiership, all wins, all W's,
United.
amazing.
You guys should have beat them.
Just an amazing feat. So I don't think Basel's going to be a pushover. I think we should just move on. Easy win, over the two legs.
No, we're not moving on.
Over the two. You think Basel's going to put up a fight?
Basel is going to beat City. You want to know why? Because
Really?
they want drama. Because,
right.
look, you're here fighting for the subscribers. Harry's got all the legs. I'm the guy here for the banter here, and that's why I say Basel, guys.
I'm basing it on absolute performance. Kevin De Bruyne is a beast this season. So is Aguero. Jesus is injured.
The whole team.
The whole team is phenomenal, and I'm loving the way they play football.
They're one center
And
back away from falling
all,
apart.
all the Sky Blues will be agreeing, this is Pep Guardiola football, and they're at its best, and they're loving it.
I mean, I just...
Really? Really, Harry?
Really
Oh my God, you're gonna-
dislike Man City.
Oh my God.
But as a realist...
I wonder why.
To a certain degree. As a realist, I have to say, it's going to be an absolute walk in the park for Man City against
Exactly.
Basel.
That's what I said.
Basel is... I mean, Basel, any Basel supporters out there, it's you know how it is. I mean, it's just, you're playing a giant. You're playing an absolute beast team. Like
You're
you
making
said.
up the numbers. Let's move on. All right. FC Porto, Liverpool. Interesting tie.
Are we going to get the score predictions on this or no?
No. We're just going to see who goes through. FC Porto, Liverpool. Liverpool having obviously, a great season. Salah, you mentioned Egyptian Player of the Year.
Yeah,
African Player of the Year, sorry. He's obviously coming to his own. And
Do you know any other Liverpool players?
yes, of course I do. Yeah,
I'm waiting.
Ex-Oxlade Champion. No, I'm saying the team is
Okay,
doing.
you mentioned Oxlade Champion
The
before.
the
The
team
player.
is. I know the players. I'm saying the team is doing well behind the backing of Salah. All the
forget
players are
the
coming up.
real main
Firmino,
man that-
Coutinho, they're all great. I know
You
they're all
still
there.
haven't mentioned the man that's going to
Who
be
do
the
you want?
difference.
Who's it?
It's Mane. Everyone's all hyped over Salah and everything, man, and
Or
you
the
haven't
Lana.
mentioned Mane. Mane is one of the most dynamic left-sided players in football,
Yeah.
in the world.
Will-
Congrats to Salah for scoring goals because
Yeah.
it makes up for Firmino.
Yeah.
Because Firmino's the closest thing we got to Benzema.
Yeah.
That's my thing. That's my personal shout out to the Liverpool fans. My bird told me to say that.
The question is Porto going to prove an obstacle for Liverpool?
No.
Do you think?
They could.
No, you're saying no.
They could, but the thing is, Liverpool.
They're doing well in the Primera.
Liverpool have everything in line to go for a deep run. I will put Liverpool above Man City to go all the way to the finals because
Really?
Liverpool has that
Interesting.
history.
No.
Have you
No,
been
no.
to Anfield on?
I've never been to him.
Have you?
Neither have I.
Okay.
So guess what? Liverpool fans know this. Anfield is one of the most intimidating grounds to play at
It
in
is.
a European night.
It is.
On its proper night. It's
Yeah.
back on Tuesday and Wednesday. You
Yeah.
cannot dispute that. Harry, your team kind of plays
Yeah,
in
but
a more historical
you
field,
said go all the way. Hang on a minute. I mean, come
Now
on.
listen,
Hang on a minute.
Man City are in obviously much better form.
I
They're,
think-
they're higher up the league. They're in top form.
Who cares?
Like
So
I
I'm
said
saying
before.
So my thing is, look, if you're on top form, on top of the league, for instance,
Yeah.
you have to fight on four fronts. If Liverpool, for instance,
get
know
that.
that they cannot win the title, which is what all
Yeah.
20 teams in the EPL chase for, and only
Yeah.
19 teams can't get it,
Yeah.
doesn't it make sense to kind of
19
go?
teams know they're not going to get it this year.
I know,
Basically.
but my, come on, 18. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
United. Yeah.
Chelsea, actually.
All right. So who we say? Porto, Liverpool. Who we saying?
Liverpool. Liverpool's going all the
Is
way.
it-
All right. I'll go
Okay.
Liverpool too. I'm just saying it'll
But
be
the thing is
interesting.
this, you got to remember, I don't think it's going to be a British team in the final. I've been saying this before. I really think that not having a winter break hinders
Yeah.
the teams.
Yeah.
And the Premier League, as we know, is so competitive. Any British team, United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, City, all the British teams that are in the Champions League right now, they are going to be on tired legs. They really
Yeah.
are. By
And
the
that's
by
why-
the later stage you are, they are going to be on tired legs, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really difficult for them to make it.
And that's why we mentioned in the previous video why we need the new transfer window.
No,
Okay.
you don't.
Yes,
It's all
we do.
about squad rotation.
We got to keep
folks.
going. We got to keep going. We've got to
Okay,
mention the other teams quickly.
Let's go with this big game. Let's focus off of this
Okay,
big game here.
okay. Real Madrid, in my opinion, Real Madrid PSG is the juiciest tie of the whole group. Doesn't
Should
matter
be a
about
fun
Chelsea,
one.
Barcelona.
Should
We'll
be
get into them in a minute. it's obviously it's going to be a tough test, I think, for Real Madrid. The holders from last year's Champions League, facing the likes of Neymar, Mbappe, Cavani. They're 9 points clear in League One. They are doing so well at PSG right now. It's so to have these players. It's going to be a great tie. Ronaldo's going to. I know what Ronaldo's going. He's going to be on his team like bees on honey. He's going to be so adamant to say, "Come on, guys, step up. I want us to do well. because he knows that this is such a big tie for him in his career." Right?
He's playing. Sucks being actually at the table of Ronaldo fans.
No, I'm not saying. I'm thinking what he's like, because we know what kind of player he's like. He wants to win. And this is going to be such a big test. But also, it's going to be. I want to see how Neymar reacts.
Yeah.
The ridiculous salary that he's on. This is the big stage. He's out of the limelight. He's out of the limelight of Messi and Suarez. This is his time. Can he shine against Real Madrid?
When I saw the fixture and I saw the Real Madrid were going to be lined up against PSG, I thought to myself immediately, Real Madrid are intimidated. They do not want to face this high-flying PSG with all the confidence in the world, incredible depth, crazy scoring, and we understand this. Real Madrid have had to go through the paces and try and get back points in the La Liga. PSG, they get thrown up to any team and they absolutely just wipe the floor with them every time. It looks as if PSG has no competition in the league. They're probably running on full energy. And I think,
You're making me cringe.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, okay, here's the thing. First off, PSG do have competition in the league. It's in the form of Monaco, Olympique Lyonnais as well. They won't obviously dethrone them, but if PSG drop a little bit of form, those two teams are just as hungry to take away from them. But those two teams aren't in this tie. It's PSG versus Real Madrid.
I know.
And with PSG, when you compare them to Real Madrid, if you compare them keepers, I'm going to give Real Madrid. Navas, he's pretty solid. You look at the defense as well. You could say it's a tie. You'll probably give the edge to Real Madrid because they've been here before. Midfield-wise, you're going to have to once again go to Real Madrid. So basically, it's a fight at the front three. It's basically the off-form Real Madrid front three versus the on-form and growing in confidence front three of PSG.
Yep.
That's honestly going to be the difference here. And to be honest, this is not to discredit the midfield of PSG. Rabiot's a fantastic player, but Mata, he's starting to get aged out. Does Draxler find his way into the midfield? They still have Di Maria as well. There's a couple talented players there in PSG, and Marquinhos, if he does well, and actually can help Thiago Silva refine that form of maybe 2-3 seasons ago, I can see them actually going through. But to be honest, this is the show of Neymar. The story of Champions League has been about Neymar. Can Neymar step out of the shadows, you mentioned, of Barca and its legacy players that have stood before him and turn PSG into a world beater? This is what I like. He is literally the most primed world-class player. Basically the next player in my mind that's going to get the Ballon d'Or next to Mbappe and then maybe Bale,
Bale, what about Kane?
Kane? Well, we'll see. Can he turn Tottenham into a giant in England with so many giants already there? That's a question for another day.
Maybe.
But this is made for PSG. Real Madrid's won it back-to-back years, just like Spain and just like any other great sides that we've appreciated in football. All great teams come to an end. And I know I have a couple fans out there that are like, man, you're talking whack, but let's be honest. PSG,
look at
and
Real
I would
Madrid's
love to have another French team besides Marseille back in '99 to win the Champions League, and there's no better team than PSG.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
For sure.
All right, next match. Obviously, this hits home with Harry. Sevilla against your boys, Manchester United. United of late not doing great in the league. A lot of speculation over Mourinho, even attacking the board for not spending money. I don't think Sevilla will be a problem, to be honest. I think Man U will come through the ties in this. They have the quality. Pogba's been playing amazing recently. Lukaku's finding a little bit of form. Lingard is scoring. Martial's scoring. They got a great defense at times. I don't think there'll be a problem. What do you think?
I think there'll be a problem. I know you're the United fan, so we're going to save you for last here.
Perfect.
Sevilla has won Europa League consistently for the past. If you look in the past, I think they won it about 3 times. They had a 3-peat. United are in Champions League because they won the Europa League. I think this is an interesting dynamic to look at the matchup. Sevilla have been consistent. They've been just outside of a Champions League team for me.
Yeah.
They've had players. I remember I was following them last year a bit with Nasri because Nasri got loaned out to there as well. But they've always had a consistent team. And you know what? They've been a consistent name that's kept the Spain coefficient up there. I unfortunately will not be able to say their player names and everything else, but I know Sevilla has been a consistent team for a reason. And for more of the Spanish diehards out there, they'll know that Sevilla will give Manchester United a problem. And let's be honest, that front four are only just finding form. And from now till February, if an injury happens to Pogba, no party for United. And that's how simple it is. And that's my definition of creativity.
I mean, let's just look at the teams on paper, how they were lined up. The skill that United has is just far beyond what Sevilla will be able to put up. And yes, at the end of the day, it comes down to how the teams play the match. It's not about what they look like on the field, what their teams, how much their team costs and everything. United has lost to minnows, and I'm not saying Sevilla is a minnow, but I'm saying United have lost these sorts of games before. However, I think that the team is just too strong. Like you said briefly before, Old Trafford on a Champions League night is a absolute, just
I see what you did there. That's a nice
terrible,
callback.
terrible place for opponents to come and play. And you mentioned it before yourself, Ben. Lukaku's catching a bit of form. He did score yesterday in the FA Cup. Lingard has been an absolute beast coming off the bench, really looking like a true United substitute attacker, like we always have had. And this team is a team that knows their Premier League run is over, knows that they can fight for second place and be happy in a second place position, but knows that there's still a cup to be won at the end of the day. Whether that's the FA Cup or whether that's the Champions League, I think United have to go for broke on one of these, and I think it's going to be with the luck of the draw, as we did get Sevilla, and not a Real Madrid, not another big world beater team. We might be able to have a chance and make a run based off of our easy go through the round of 16.
All right, so you're United.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you United, but I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I'm gonna say you guys, it's gonna be tied on, goals, and you guys are gonna go through on aggregate.
All right, 3 more matches to preview. Shakhtar Donetsk, Roma. I'm going to go Roma on this one. I don't think Shakhtar Donetsk are going to have much of a fight for Roma.
Okay,
Roma doing great Serie A, got great firepower, great midfield. I think they'll get. I think it's Roma, really.
Okay, it's easy for a casual fan, and I'll be honest, I haven't followed Shakhtar as great as I have. I'm maybe a bit more familiar with Dynamo Kiev because of my Ukrainian friend. But to be honest, the Serie A has been interesting this year. Roma's been a good side. With Shakhtar, however, they're always a name that keeps popping up in the final 16, and people keep discrediting them. They both bring in actually a lot of South American players as well, as well combined with the Ukrainian players. So that's actually quite dynamic. And you know what? Roma is a nice side and everything. And, to be honest, they had Chesney in that last year, but the backup keeper, which actually has probably been stealing the season, I think it's Edison, he's been doing an outstanding job. Personally, when you look at the front line, there's no better player than Dzeko right now, and Dzeko's been in this incredible form since he's moved away from the EPL, and I think he's kind of found his real feet in the Serie A.
Yes.
I really do think Roma will probably go through, but similar to how Sevilla and Manchester United are, I don't see, especially when we're down to these 16 teams, here's the 16 best teams in Europe, so you can't really just brush aside I know Roma, but I don't really know Shakhtar, so I'll probably go with Roma.
Yeah.
I think, once again, it's going to be another close matchup where we're going to have a tie in aggregate. I know that I almost want to say the group stage was boring this year compared to previous years before.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking with this round 16, I'm really going to see a lot of teams going at it, and don't be surprised if Shakhtar puts up a good fight.
I hope so.
Yeah, I can't really comment too much on this matchup. I don't really know Shakhtar, and I know a bit of Roma, and I recognize their run of form has been pretty solid. And the Italian teams play well in these big games. They know how to step it up, and I think it's going to be Roma.
All right, cool. Next one, Chelsea-Barcelona. Another big tie.
Huge tie.
It's going to be a hard one to call. Chelsea, they're in good form.
Dude, it's kind of easy.
Well, let's see what happens.
Chelsea.
Really? Wow, Chelsea. I was not going to go. I wasn't even going to say that either.
Why? Did you guys think I was going to say Barcelona?
Yeah,
because
Barcelona.
Dembele's back, Suarez is back. Look.
Barcelona just gelling. They're gelling right now.
Barca have found their form, yes, but Chelsea have done it before. Why can't they do it again? You know what I'm kind of going for? I kind of want some English teams to go through.
Yeah.
I kind of want Spain to kind of take a fall back this year. That's why I have Real Madrid out. That's why I have Barca out. Sevilla could squeak by, as I said. But, look, this Champions League theme, it's all set up for Neymar, as I said. That's what kind of like if I had a master plan layout of who's going to be in the final.
Interesting.
It'd be probably PSG. I don't want to tell you guys my other team. It may be English, it may be Spanish.
Yeah.
Chelsea Barcelona, quick.
For me, whenever I look at Barcelona play, Messi's going to be there. I got to respect the greatness. I know that in a big game, Champions League nights, that is the game. You say Neymar is the Champions League man this year? I'm gonna disagree. I still think Messi has a point to prove. We've seen him come through huge in these matchups. When there's a big game on the table, Messi's going to step up and he's going to do something fantastic. Carry his team for a long run again. Barcelona, fantastic club, fantastic squad. They're better than Real Madrid this year.
Yep.
Why can't they breeze by Chelsea? Why can't they go right to the final? Why can't they go to the semis even?
I just think Chelsea just have all the right tools this year, and especially with their system, if they go back to their bread and butter, Barca's not going to have an easy walk into the park. Realize what I mentioned earlier. Some of the best managers have moved from these foreign leagues, Italian Serie A, Liga, La Liga, Bundesliga, and some of the Portuguese league, and all across Europe, and they've come to the English Premier League. Conte is one of the best for a reason. He didn't win the EPL title in the first season for nothing.
Yeah.
So you can't question that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Messi is one of the world's greatest, if not the greatest, depending on who you ask. But remember, Chelsea did beat them, and Torres did score at Camp Nou.
Yeah,
Torres isn't there.
Teams. They're different. That Chelsea team is completely gone and different. We cannot look at that team and say, because of what happened then, that's going to have the same result. That team.
But you can still call on past experiences, man.
Sure, you can.
You can. I can see Lampard. I can see Terry being in that.
All right.
We gotta move on,
Okay, we've got to move on. Yeah. Last match, Bayern Munich, Besiktas. Bayern Munich has obviously become a revelation since sacking of Ancelotti. Jupp Heynckes been at the club now, what, 4 times? Done really well. Lewandowski's on top form. Douglas Costa, Arturo Vidal. All these great players.
You're mentioning a lot of Bayern players.
Yes, because I don't know much about Besiktas. You know why? Because Besiktas isn't really on my radar, and let's be honest, not much on the world's radar, to be honest with you. So Bayern Munich will win this tie. We're just talking about the tie.
I know.
Bayern Munich will win the tie. Harry.
It's going to be Bayern Munich.
Thank you.
Bayern Munich is a fantastic club. We all know this, and frankly, we didn't really mention them for our teams that could make a big run, a deep run in the Champions League. I mean, they are a team that we need to consider.
Of course it is. They killed Arsenal last season. My team, and I hated it every minute.
They won the Champions League. They're the same manager again. They're going to crush the Bundesliga this year, and I think they're just going to look at Besiktas and say, sure, it's going to be a tough matchup away in Turkey, but we're going to breeze by them. We're going to take them easy at the Allianz, and it's going to be a simple run for Bayern.
Great.
You're right. Nobody. I mean, not nobody, but I don't know Besiktas. I don't know any of their players, and
I kind of play with them sometimes in FIFA. They're actually a really good side. 4.5 stars, man. You'd be surprised.
FIFA.
But they have Pepe. I know they just recently lost their striker to Everton. I think it was
Tucson. That's right.
Yeah, Tucson.
So he recently moved from there.
That's right.
But that kind of makes me question a bit more of their firepower. If he was still there, I would probably say that they'd actually be able to put up a tie. I'm going to say it again. Actually, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say something different. The winner of this tie will be the dark horse that you'll see in the semifinals. Most of you two are saying, well, Bayern Munich, and I bet a lot of our viewers are also saying Bayern Munich. But I like to argue with Besiktas. They actually have a good side. And to be honest, right now, they're running away with the title right now in the Turkish league right now. But then again, Galatasaray could catch up. But Besiktas, I think, can actually make a run into the quarterfinals. And to be honest, as much as Bayern Munich haven't really been tested, I think this is going to be a big test for them to really kind of find their feet.
Yeah.
So with Besiktas, I think there was the old Dutch player that used to play for Arsenal. He was a young prospect. He's actually really flourished. He's actually the team captain over there in Besiktas now. I think it's Ozaglatz. Definitely mispronounced his name, but I see him similar to how I mentioned Pjanic earlier. He's in the midfield. I'm expecting him to control the game.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's games like these where you kind of brush a team aside, where you really see players make a name for themselves. I think he's about 27 now. There's no better game than against one of Europe's elite to really stand out and really turn people's heads and turn your head you know what? Next season I'm going to actually follow Besiktas in the Turkish league.
That'd be
so
great.
I hope it happens.
Me too.
You're all for it, but you're all for Bayern. So you can't be one for the other.
I'm all for clubs to make a name for themselves, and then that's how they come across our radars, right? That's how they come in the news, and that's how I look at things. So that'll be nice. Okay, that's enough from us, guys. Let us know what you think. Give us a comment on each match. Who do you think is going to go through from the last 16? Just yeah, just comment, because that's what this show is about. We'd love to interact with you, the fans.
We need you guys to banter below. Banter below. You see right down here.
Banter is comments.
See right where my finger's pointing? We want to see lots of comments about Champions League. It's a big draw, guys. So please, guys, like, banner, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Follow us on social media.
Oh, well,
Off
does
you
it
go.
pop here?
Off you go. It does. Right there.
Right there?
There you go.
Okay, all right. So from Harry, from Ben, from Chris, I throw it back to Ben. What we like to say.
Thanks for watching us on Soccerholics TV. See you the next time.